I can take
Yeah,
so I set it up, right? Like
I, I,
hometown.
I asked the how did you get there. I think maybe that was my fault because I wasn't necessarily wanting you to decide how you got there. I was mainly I don't think I asked you how you got there. I asked you how it was started because
Yeah, and I
yeah, and the
answered. I
reason I was
said, and I answered. I said, I don't know, just sort of like I just kind of like could bake, and it turned out well. Like I, I think I thought that was a sufficient answer. Like do I need to get into like because I don't know anything about the planet, right?
What's your
As a
charisma,
player,
Alex? What's your
uh,
charisma?
my, my charisma.
Yes, tell me.
Uh,
I have an easy solution for this shit.
I have 11 charisma.
What is it?
I also have I have 11 charisma, and I also have the persuade.
All right. Well, you were very good at talking to people, and people could go there and talk to a random person, get things off their chest. You got
God.
the.
So
You're like the
stereotypical,
barber.
don't
You're like the barber who like wants to socialize with his clients.
Except
like-
his way of socializing is just listening because she in a realistic situation Marcel wouldn't.
That's how I learned Urdu. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marcel wouldn't really talk much to other people since she doesn't know anything about herself. So it would mainly be listening.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's good.
Shell.
Why do you think I'm so good at this
Yeah,
shit, guys?
Yeah, that could be like Richter comes in there like he's busy like after his job, for lack of a better term. He just like comes in really tired.
Okay, so
Are we gonna play
enough.
now?
We can, yeah.
Maybe. Well,
Yeah, let's
maybe.
just, like do an hour. Like let's all meet up. Let's go say hi.
Fine with that.
All right. So Ricky
okay.
walks into my cafe, right?
Boy.
No, it wouldn't be as simple as that.
It would start off at us at the spaceport and the shit.
Yeah, it would be everybody who doesn't inherently live here will be okay. So here's the planet. There are a lot of other things besides these three cities that are going on in this planet, but for one thing, I haven't come up with any of them, and for another,
We're not
I didn't.
interact with it yet.
Yeah, I didn't feel the need to come up with the entire planetary topography of what's on the planet. I just needed a couple of places you guys could go and a couple of things you could do. So, our story basically starts on the various means of traveling to the Sine system, going to the Polymero, the planet specifically. And everybody, regardless of where you are going on that planet, has to go to the planetary starport. It's that way for every other planet, because if you're protecting your resources or protecting what is on your planet, and you don't want people to just come over and take over the planet, I mean, that's the reason to have the planetary starport. The planetary starport, think of it like customs, where you are given authorization. Think of it like not customs. When planes are trying to get to the airport, you have the FFA regulating who can touch down, who can take off. They have passenger manifests. They have information about each passenger, and they compare that against a database of criminals or people. People get flagged for a lot of different reasons, but mainly just being criminal. These databases are updated throughout the sector, so any planet that will have a planetary spaceport is going to have access to these databases. So keep that in mind as you guys go from planet to planet in the future. A big and important thing, and I won't necessarily role play these, maybe sometimes it'll just be assumed, but it is kind of like the USA. So keep that in mind as you guys like kill people and or destroy things and or piss people off, that you may end up having to, like in Swan Song when they spoof their identification credentials, you may have to do that in the future. You may have to obtain secondary identification, or at the very least not give your real name, or at least your galactic known name. So you guys can choose to do that as you're coming in. You cannot use your name. I know one of you has a specific setup for that, so that works out.
Stop talking about me.
Well, here's the thing, Brendan. Because like I'm part of the military, would I really even need to bother with this? Like,
No, you wouldn't. But I'm explaining this so that people get an idea of what it's like to travel to a world that has a restriction like this.
Yeah.
And not all the TL4 planets that have spaceports are going to be this restrictive, but this
Okay.
particular planet, you got to think about, they have very, they have a lot of resources that can be taken if they don't have these restrictions in place. Somebody can come in here, they can take control of the trade hub, and then they have access to all the money that's garnered from the Grand Bazaar. They can come in here, take over the warehouse district. They have all of the equipment that has been
Okay.
repaired and ready for
Okay.
sale.
Well, are we just going to introduce our characters? We really don't need to know this right now.
Oh, one question first off. Are you gonna be using Hoshi at any point during first session? Because if you do, and if you have a Texas Speech app on your phone, you should use that because he uses a compad. Like this.
Hello, my name is Hoshi. How are you today? I am good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that works. That sounds fun.
Yeah, just like that.
I will definitely keep that in mind. I'm actually using my phone for the Skype right now because I wasn't sure
Okay.
what we were going to do. But in the future, I will definitely reserve my phone for that.
Okay.
By the
That's
way,
cool, though. I like that.
before we introduce, sorry, can I get reminded? Giles is another soldier.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, is it possible for us, or would you be cool with that, Jay, that at some point in the past, before we arrived at the planet, that we might know each other because we are in the same line
good.
of work?
That's good.
Yeah, that would be something that you guys work out amongst yourselves. Because I only have access to what the sheet says and what you guys have said specifically to me, so I can see a lot of different strings going in lots of
Okay,
different directions.
so between me being or maybe during my service at Morningstar Security Services, or maybe after I left, I didn't immediately go to that planet after I left, and maybe I was looking for some work to establish myself as a professional, the guy that honors the contract. And probably during one of the assignments, I didn't do many of them. I probably met Giles, maybe had a chance to work along him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think, Giles?
Yeah, that's good.
Sweet.
Okay. So it would make sense then that you guys are traveling to Polymero on the same transport ship.
And scene, go.
Hey, Brandon, did you get my whisper though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to
Got
keep
one?
switching.
Cause if you don't, I have one.
I do not have one, so you feel free to.
All right, here, whisper, bang bang. There you go. Would that work?
Holy shit! Yeah, that works.
There you go. Awesome.
That's pretty cool. I like that. All right.
Yep. Works with the old time thingy. So yeah, there you go, Brandon.
Yeah, we
Okay,
definitely
so-
are in one transport, and maybe Giles or me suggested that this place, because it's a hub, there's Grand Bazaar, there's population is small but people are coming and going. This might be a good place to actually find some work. It might be a good place
Exactly.
for opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys would definitely, if you were looking for work as protecting something or
I'm
security
almost there.
personnel, this is the perfect place for you guys to go because the financial district employs Morningstar Services, and the other two places have specific guard postings and stuff like that. So I would assume that you would have looked up via whatever the internet is.
It's
haven't
still
really-
basically the internet.
Yeah. So I would assume you would have looked up
Fucking
job
4chan is
postings.
still posting.
Oh, U.S. Postal Service exchange that. Go.
Yeah, the postal service is also a thing. I remember that.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't that be,
yeah.
that'd be fun.
So I would assume that you would have looked on there and found postings for this particular system because people with your kinds of skills would always be useful on places like this.
Uh-huh.
So Giles and now I got to go back to Giles and Salazar will probably be on the same ship. Now you guys will, the rest of the people minus minus Miss Marcel will be coming probably on a either a random freighter or not a freighter. What do you call those? Like a random merchant ship, or you would be coming. Yeah, free merchant. Or you might be coming in through like a kind of like a travel agency where it's a ship specifically designed to travel from planet or from system to system. But regardless of how you got here, you'll basically be funneled through the same point, and that is the starport. So our scene opens up with the ship or ships all landing on the geez, I don't know what you would call that for the future. The tarmac, the landing pad for the. I don't know what it would be called, but basically somewhere where all the shuttles would be able to land, so that they could funnel their occupants into the planetary customs port or the
Neo
building.
tarmac.
There
Neo to anything, and it's sci-fi.
So the Neo tarmac then, and the spaceport specifically is designed to weed out the undesirable elements, undesirable criminal elements. It's also a bit of like a what do you call those things? At rest stops, they have information about the states that you're in. It's kind of like that. It gives you a rundown of all the things that happen in this culture. So that is where you would have received that brochure that I sent all of you guys. They'll have basically.
I have a couple copies of it in my cafe somewhere.
Yeah, if you all have compads, does everybody here have compads?
Yeah.
Oh, I have two. One for Hoshi, one for me.
Salazar also has a compad.
Everybody with a compad would have received this generalized message in the form of that brochure that explains what happens on this planet.
Damn ads. Close out of it and it keeps on opening it up. I'm like, fucking bastards.
So you guys know about Eclipse, you guys know about the Grand Bazaar, you guys know basically what happens in each sector. Now the one thing out of the story real quick, I hadn't decided if I wanted this to be one city and have it. I keep calling it sectors but I only call it that because they're 4 different things. But we can do this as one big city, or I was wondering if you guys wanted to do this one big city, or if you wanted to keep it as you would have to travel to each of these different districts.
One big city.
10,000 people, right?
Yeah, one big
city.
Yeah, one
only
big
like
city
10,000
works.
people anyway. And you need like a couple thousand people to manufacture spaceships. So like, I imagine that they all be in the same place.
Right, and in addition to the people, they also employ. Think of, I don't know if you guys have seen WALL-E, but
I seen
robotic.
it.
Yeah, robotic robots like that. They don't have any weapons, but they are generally useful for building platforms for the workers to stand on and doing things like welding pieces onto ships and stuff like that in the financial sector.
Future work bot things.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are all funneling in, and it's more than just you guys, because, like I said, this is the place. This is for this strip that you're in. If you look at the map, you see Lorenzo, the Agriera, Hind, Alftus. This is the place for this strip where anybody will go if they want to sell something or buy something. So you're going to have the traffic from all of these planets, plus people who are fortunate enough to have really good drives that can get to this strip. But within this strip, this is where you go for the Grand Bazaar. It's well known in this particular part. So you have, in addition to your individual means of transportation, you have all of these tourists, these random people coming in here to buy shit, to experience the nature of the Grand Bazaar, maybe to go to Eclipse, or for whatever reason they have of being here. So you guys are arriving, you're funneling into a line of people. I'm assuming that Giles and Salazar obviously are standing next to each other. They may or may not have had conversations on ship prior to arriving here. And Takano and Richter
Salazar. I need to whisper Salazar something.
Like that?
Are going to be basically in the line. I don't know if they will have, if you guys want to know each other in some obscure way or what you want to do with that, but you're going to be in line. You're all funneling into this. It's the nicest building that, there's only one building in the spaceport, and it's large like an airport. There's lots of different entrances, lots of different exits. They have a grav vehicle waiting because the city is not at this port. This port is as a separate entity from the city itself. So
normal airport, except for space.
right, so you guys are getting in here. You're going to come through the little ticket gates where they have the little things that stick out, and you push through them to go forward. Once you go through there, you'll pass through this blue, like iridescent field that will scan you for infectious diseases and things of that nature. One thing, real quick. Let's see here. Salazar, I think it is. Salazar, you're from
Suad planet, homeworld.
Yeah. One interesting thing about that planet is most of the people who are native to Suad, they have some sort of disease. It's not a disease per se, because it's normal for them, but it's not necessarily great for people who don't inhabit that planet.
Smallpox. Run, everybody! Run.
No, it's the future. So it's a large pox or something.
Neopox.
Neopox.
So Salazar, in this regard, would describe for me your run-ins with this particular situation. You have some sort of, I hesitate to call it the disease, because a disease implies that it's automatically malicious. However, it's not malicious to people who.
I have some sort of physical condition that for me it's harmless, but with contact to other people it might be dangerous. It might not be, because, well, he was already working with some people from other worlds, but you never know.
Right. So, what is this condition?
Yeah, what do you look like, and what is going on with it?
You have mad crater face.
Like, is it like a visible thing, or is it just like in my
blood? That's what I'm. This is the thing this is when I'm giving control to Salazar to describe this thing.
Honestly, I am really not good with diseases. I don't have much medical knowledge, so I really don't have many ideas. I think this is not something that can be seen at the first glance by everybody, so so my disease doesn't make me look like Morlocks from X-Men.
Yeah, it's not a deformative disease, but it is something that will have been picked up by that blue iridescent light that you just walked through.
Unless I can make a luck save.
Oh,
yeah, we can do that. First roll of the game if you want. Luck save.
All right, let's see, boys. Place your bets.
Oh my god.
Oh. What is it? What happened?
Natural
got a 1.
For what?
You mutate into a zombie monster in the middle of the line.
So no. You go through this blue iridescent field, and you're standing next to Giles, and all of a sudden, instead of being blue, it blips red, and you hear.
Okay, so even without anything saying to me, I just stop. Like, I look around, like my face is like, what is the problem?
Yeah, and you're approached by how would I describe her? She's not a threatening person. She's actually a very friendly face. All of the people that are in this building that are operating these stations are super friendly looking. You notice they're not. They have. Think of them all as like having high charisma. They're put here to deal specifically with off-worlders, because they know people from vastly different cultures and beliefs are going to be on this planet. So it's their job to be a liaison between the off-worlder and the cultural standing this planet has. So she approaches you and she says, "Hi, name, sir?"
Mr. Salazar, madam. May I know what's
Mr.
the problem?
Mr. Salazar, my name's Jane. I'm a cultural liaison with Polymero, and I just wanted to ask you a couple questions. Do you mind stepping over here for me? And she gestures off to, like, she's standing, she's looking at you, she's gesturing to her left, would be your right. And you're basically going to go into, because when you, okay, you're going to be going into, I don't really know, this is hard to describe. No, not right now, buddy. It's kind of cold. I'll let you know when you can.
Where they have in Hong
I don't
Kong?
want to say that it's a box because then that would it would alienate people. and
Basically,
their
I
goal
know
is to
what you're
not-
trying to get. This is the place that tends to, like, will act to isolate me, but it won't make me feel isolated. It won't feel
Exactly,
me
yeah.
threatened. Yes, I know what
Yeah.
you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just...
because she doesn't want to make you feel like an alien.
Yeah,
But she wants
I
you to know
understand.
that there's some critical things that she needs to talk to you about.
Okay, so I just like quickly look at Giles and I mouth, see ya later, hopefully. And I look at her, but of course I will gladly answer any questions and...
So we're going through corrections right now.
And, oh my god, what's the word? Because English isn't my native language.
Follow?
No, that's fine.
And I shall gladly explain any misunderstandings or problems that may have arisen.
Okay, so while Salazar is stepping off with her over into this, Giles, you go through just fine. What do you have on you, Giles?
Shit. I have my weapon.
Should have checked that in though, right?
Yeah, I have my weapons, and I have my special thingy. That's the handout. That's in my, that's encased. It's in a case.
Right.
Like a fancy ass case.
Like I said, at this point, you guys have all purchased the documentation, the necessary documentation. By documentation, from here forward, that will refer. What I think I'm going to do with this is similar to in Shadowrun, how you have like cred sticks. This contains information about you. It'll have like DNA protocol information. It'll have your permit information, your banking
basically,
information.
It's like an upgraded wallet,
Yeah, mhm.
but it has like your like
but you don't have
birth certificate and all that.
Right. You don't have any physical things to show them. You basically they'll have a little reader on their compad. You put similar to the way the cards are going now, where you can just put your bank card in front of the register and it automatically does the financial processing. Mm-hmm. Similar to that. They scan it, they know based on the results that they get, they go off of that. So you already have your permit for your sword, but when this woman took Salazar over to the isolation booth, because I don't know a better word for it, she looks at another one, steps up behind her. But only this one is a male. So in addition to it being female, they also have males that.